Okay, continuing to talk about runes. This is what I was journaling about today and thought I would throw it up on the YouTube. Uh, so, after some consideration, I have decided that the Armanen runes are probably just a detour for me. And here's how I got to that point where I, I was looking at the Armanen Orders website, and I could accept that Guido von List was divinely revealed the real runes in a vision. And I can even accept that people might say, well, he wasn't that fascist or racist, or even if he was just a product of his time. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff that's attached to the Armanen runes for good reason. I could accept all that. I was willing to be open to this man had a private spiritual revelation about the runes and being on a shamanic journey. Oh my gosh, I just remembered I still have that. I cut myself really bad this morning shaving. Okay, so being on a shamanic journey, I want to believe in private, direct contact with spirit entities, including, why not, Odin himself. So I was like, okay, maybe. But when the website of the Armanen Order claims that these were actually the real runes all along forever, and that in fact Guido von List received them from someone else, that's when I start to realize that I'm dealing with the same level of fanaticism as folks that claim that human beings and dinosaurs coexisted before Noah's flood. Things like that, where there's abundant physical evidence for the existence of the Elder Futhark forever. Not really, but forever, but lots of it. There's none for the Armanen set because Guido von List made it up in 1902. And then they say, well, actually he received them from one of our guys, and they were just secret. They were just secret, so secret. So I mean, you just have already, you've lost me. But not only that, there's just something weird and off-putting about how intense this group was about the runes. The runes are a part of my spiritual practice that I'm constructing right now. But they're only a part, and I'm grateful for them. But for these people, like, the runes in and of themselves are a religion. And I'm just not really ready for that kind of... that just doesn't work for me, man. So then we move on, and I say, well, I already bought the book, The Secret of the Runes, so maybe I can at least learn what I can about his takes on the runes that are common to the Elder Futhark. And I had an English teacher who used to say, wisdom wherever you find it. So that would be pretty cool. And, I've thrown away too many books to learn the lesson finally that even a bad book is worth having on hand to reference every once in a while, because you will go, oh yeah, let me quote this really terrible book for why I don't feel this way. Or, so I'm going to keep the book, I'm going to read it, and I'm going to add to my own personal rune lore. But I wanted to finish with this and say, this is really all that I needed to tell me, oh, by the way, you can see that I'm ill. It may not be a coincidence that I fell ill, out of nowhere, after I made my Armanen rune set and then slept with it under my pillow. I just suddenly got really sick. No coincidences, right? So, anyway, out of 18 Armanen runes, 13 are common to the Elder Futhark. And then you get to Gabor. And I remember thinking when I saw it, oh, that looks kind of like a swastika, but thank goodness it's not a swastika. Spoiler alert, Guido von List is yeah, it's totally supposed to be a swastika, but I changed it because the swastika has kind of a, so, yeah. And yes, I get it, the swastika's an ancient symbol that goes all the way back to Troy and this and that, but dude, look, and it's a bummer because it did used to be the symbol of Thor. There are paintings from the 1800s with Thor's belt buckle with a swastika on it. It sucks, but when you have to like equivocate and justify that fucking, excuse me, Bill, there it is, that much. I remember being really grateful that, like, other than Sowilu, there are no Elder Futhark symbols that I've seen. Well, I guess there are, but like not as major in your face as the swastika. So I was like, wow, I'm really grateful these symbols didn't become symbols of hate. So, I don't know. I think we can just steer clear of the swastika. It's a bummer. Like, yeah, it was sacred for thousands of years, and then some jackasses used it for a couple decades, and now we can just never use it again. But it's not the kind of thing that I want to have to like explain to anybody when I'm breaking out runes to do a reading. Okay, so yeah, anyway, I think I was taken off the path. And a while ago, let me wrap up with this. I did a reading where I got Issa, ice, and that may have been my warning to, in regards to this Elder Futhark journey, to just hang tight. Because right after that, I discovered the Armanen set and was like going crazy about like, wow. And let's be real, it was because of the hipster in me that I was like, oh, there's cool, secret, other runes. And the Elder Futhark has been appropriated by people who just don't care at all about Germanic ancestry or the old gods. And that's kind of a bummer, but on the other hand, it's popular because it works. So that's it. That's my take on the Armanen set. I'm just going to be putting that right back in where I found it and moving on with my life. Bye.